Good afternoon. This is Dr. Wells, and I wanted to go through and talk about your upcoming paper just to review some items. You should all have gotten feedback thus far on your community relations audit, and so I thought it would be good if I went over this assignment very briefly. So, one of the things I want to point out is to make sure you're also covering information in the initial paragraph. It does set the stage for this, and I realize the bullets have some specificity, but you don't want to forget what's up here. And the big part up here is trying to interview someone, meet with somebody, really have some communication to help drive how you approach this. So making sure you include that. There's a wide range of people you can talk to, and I'll leave that up to you based on really what you want to improve. And so some of this should be drawn from the audit that you did. So in the audit, you may have already identified some areas of improvement. This is really specifically going to look at communication, so you can reference that paper as you go. And so to point out in the first bullet point here, a clear plan on how you will communicate improvement initiative you are recommending. So how are you going to talk about what's going on? How are you going to get that information out? Again, coming back up here to look at the types of ways of doing this. The book is really helpful with this. If you've been reading the book, you'll find it's very easy to read. It's clear information. It's user friendly. You also have a start with dealing with the practical PR for principals, which is also very easy to read and user friendly. So those are some sources that you can use in writing this. So with this, as you talk to people, like how do they maintain open lines of communication? How are they creating and sustaining opportunities? Incorporating the community's unique cultural, social, and working to collect and analyze data. So the reason these bullets are here really to help guide you with those standards that are listed for the paper in the rubric. And so we want to make sure you're addressing those. One of the great strategies people have had is actually to put the standards in parentheses after they've been covered. That way it helps me, but it also really helps you track to make sure you've covered information about all of those. If for some reason you are at a school, like for example, Montessori school, and there's an aspect of this that isn't relevant, you just need to say that and that this is why, because our mission is this. We at least want to acknowledge that. So you want to complete the essay on that. Make sure you are following APA. I gave a lot of you some APA advice on your first papers, and I was really pretty lenient on that, but I'm asking you not to continue to make those same mistakes. So for example, retrieve from is no longer used. In 7th edition, make sure your capitalization is right, your punctuation, whether it's italics or not, and also in terms of the in-text citations, 3 or more is et al. So we no longer list 3 authors. I did provide a link for you to go through that hits highlights of the 7th edition. You should have a cover page. You should be using headers throughout. I didn't really give a lot of feedback about header design, but make sure you're using the right headers at the right levels. So for most of your paper, that will be left indented. I'm happy to address other questions, but the big part about this is you really want to take something, talk to somebody, and come up with an idea to improve communication. This does not have to be huge. In fact, I would recommend you take one idea and really break it down rather than several ideas and not get into depth on that. Please reach out with any questions. I'm happy to help. I would say there is no page limit here, but the most successful students have generally been between like 8 to 12 pages. And so thinking more about content in those 8 to 12. So that's my suggestion, and make sure you're citing sources that you use. Reach out, but continue to do what you're doing. I thought the first set of papers went pretty well. Lots and lots and lots of A's. So that's great. You're doing great, and I just want to help you do even better. And like I've said in maybe some of my posts, but really that students have found this course to be helpful because there are you can apply it to your current roles or actually plan for impact and change. And so that's what I really want you to use for these assignments. Okay, thanks, and I hope you have a great day. I think some of you are on winter break, and I hope that you take some time to enjoy. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.